this project tested me. I'm so glad it's over. Not only did the project test me, but the editing tested me. I had to rough cut this like 3 times, and I'm not sure why. I could have sworn that I finished it. I don't know. I think I was also switching between cameras at this point, and also I was switching between editing software because my dad got from the Creative Cloud, so I was leeching off of him for the latter half. And I got a new camera, which is really nice too. I'm no longer filming on my phone, which I don't know if I included any of my phone footage after all. Maybe some of the beginning ones are film footage, but I don't think so. But I got this bougie new camera, and it takes beautiful photos. Hopefully I can edit some of them a little better. The lighting's a bit inconsistent when I was editing this, but hopefully I figure out Premiere Pro so I can edit it to look a little more cohesive. This is one of those projects, and sometimes it's in one small project and sometimes it's in a big multi-step process like this one is, where you always hit that one point of the project where you just want to throw it in the fire, like you're done with it. This is the point for me. Not only was like the fitting weird, because I had to refit the shoulders and I had to refit the neckline a couple of times, but it was all basically felling, which usually I love felling and I don't mind felling a bunch of seams. There was a bunch of seams in this one because I cut it wrong too, but actually no, it's because my back is really messed up. There's like a ton of seams in it and I had to fell all of them, so there wasn't really any interesting parts of it, and I basically had made this girdle before in the rose version because I used the same pattern. The closures were just in a different place and the sleeves were just a different shape. But since there was no buttonholes or buttons or anything to add interest to it yet, I just kind of like fizzled out on it. But now that I'm hopefully getting all the embroidery done, it will add some interest to it, and I'll actually be interested in wearing it. Because right now, it's just not doing it for me. But with the completion of this girdle and the near completion of all of the embroidery around the girdle, I'm almost done. Like, I've got 1.5 more lines to do, and then I have to attach them to the bottom band, which I'm not going to go into in this video. It's going to be a whole separate video. But I'm almost done, which I'm pretty thrilled about. I'm excited to have this done, both because I am sick and tired of this gown, but also because I'm really excited to wear it. And I'm hoping that Ren Fair is a thing this year. It is an outdoor event, so I'm hoping it's a thing and I get to wear it to Ren Fair. That would be really cool. I might have to rethink that with the embroidery, because the embroidery is all wool. That actually might be a bad idea, but we'll see. Oh, I should probably say welcome back. I still haven't gotten like the intro like rhythm yet. Still trying to figure that out. I'm also still figuring out my editing rhythm, which was interesting because I had filmed this back in December and in January, and I in March am just now getting to finish editing it. Wow, a lot has changed in 2 months. Like the videos that I'm doing now, I'm working on now for later. It's interesting, it hasn't improved so much, like to the point where I'm exceedingly happy with the products that I'm, putting out, but it's improved to the point where I'm starting to see the improvements. And that is really exciting to see, because it was really clunky at first, but now, especially with the new software and new hardware, it was a little harder and a little more difficult to get my flow back, because I was just hitting my flow with DaVinci, and then I switched over to Premiere Pro, and then I had to relearn Premiere Pro, and it felt like I was editing for the first time again. But now I'm starting to hit okay, I know the basics of editing in Premiere Pro. Now I can start like getting creative with it, hopefully, maybe, we'll see. And now I just have to like figure out what my rhythm is with filming and editing and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I don't want to dilly-dally much longer, because I am ready to get this out. So I guess I'll go straight into the voiceover. So I hate to admit it, but there's nothing crazy interesting about this particular project. I started just like I started the rose girdle. I did a running back stitch on every single seam except for the seams from my neck to about my hips were all heavily back stitched. I then trimmed and felt them down, and this was the majority of the project. It took me a little bit, but eventually I got there.
Joseph might be applicable because we, haven't our drinkies. Are any of us drinking hot Joseph? No. 7:30. I don't want it in this group Photoshop. Put it outside the group like I told you to. Wow. Should I get me on to Photoshop again? Photoshop's a real piece of work. You guys gotta talk it out. No, imagine. Yeah. The real ones. Mom was here and says the strong Julia has a Long Island accent. Let's decide as a group. Yeah. It'll be like old times.
I did do a backstitch around the first couple inches and the corners and the tops of each of my gores. This is to give them a nice strength because they are sitting right at my hips and they are very heavy, even with this light fabric. So whatever I could do to reinforce them, I would do it.
They're the smallest one, and so I think it felt right that they had more of like a childlike energy to them. They're so cute with the little daffodil. But those are my mushroom friends. This is my Patreon. This is my September Patreon printable. So if you want to snag it, you can join my Patreon. It's only $2 a month for like printables like this, and joining actually gets you the access to the whole backlog of printables if you're interested. No pressure though, either way. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I love them. They're so friend-shaped and mysterious and strange. Top left and bottom right are definitely my faves. Mysterious. Yeah. Oh, they're so cute. But that is that's a video thing. That's the whole kit and caboodle. My friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed kind of drawing with me, chatting with me, hanging out. I hope that you're doing all right. I know that stuff is weird. And I was stressed, which is essentially all the time when I went to the dentist or last time I had for cleaning. And he was talking about how work now like more because I cried a little bit. I was like, high chest, that's the lifestyle. And I was like, you say that. So I think it might need to give myself a
I don't know what happened to the footage of me. Well, actually, I might know what happened to the footage of me fitting the sleeves. It really made me mad. I should have seen this coming, but I had flat drafted this pattern and it didn't take into account the fact that the shoulders are really far off my, the shoulder seam is really far off my shoulder. So I didn't need all the sleeve cap that I had originally accounted for. So I had this weird like little puffy mushroom cap on my sleeve and it wasn't the look I was going for at all. so I had to then refit it, and it was just a pain in the butt. I probably just rage quit filming and just dealt with it, as I usually do with frustrating aspects of projects. I just did a back stitch all the way around after basting them in. Nothing crazy, just my usual. I also trimmed and felled this to the main body of the kirtle. This project was pretty standard in that way. Everything was just backstitch or running backstitch and fell. Then I measured out some linen twill tape that I had on hand, just to be just smaller than my neckline. I then did a spaced back stitch on the top, actually, well, the bottom edge of the linen tape. Then I turned it over and whip stitched the entire tape down to the body of the kirtle. I have to set up the eyelets that will be in the front of the kirtle. I always seem to have to check how to do eyelet setup, especially for spiral lacing. It just doesn't stick in my brain. So here I am looking it up. And then I just finished the eyelets. I didn't heavily whip stitch around the edges because it doesn't take a whole lot of strain, and I just didn't feel like it. I think I'll have to redo these later to fix the neckline, but whatever. So there you have it. Nothing crazy, honestly. Just like I said, it's pretty basic. Basically the same thing as my rose girdle. I wasn't crazy happy with using the light fabric that I used. It was really thin and almost gauzy, but Linen Store didn't have any other weight in that particular color. I really wish the pink of the sleeve was the same weight, but I think they also didn't have it in the lightweight fabric store, so I just kind of went with it. Oh well, no for next time. I think I also didn't include my hemming in this video. That's because I haven't hemmed it yet. This will be done in the last video because there's a whole band around the edge, and I'll just hem it all as one because why do it twice when you could do it once? So with that all being done, I guess I just finally have to finish those lions. I'm not looking forward to that, but I don't have an excuse now. I've literally made it so I don't have an excuse. But I only have 1.5 to go, so I'm hoping this coming week is spring break for me, and both for my work and for my school. So hopefully I can just sit down and get at least the one that I'm half finished knocked out. Hopefully. Unless, of course, I decide to choose another palette cleanser, burnout proof project. But until I finish that video, hopefully soon, I've got plenty of other videos that I've already filmed. Actually, including this one, there's 3 videos that I've already filmed and are in editing, which should be coming within the first couple months. I am trying to do once a month still. I kind of dropped the ball in February because, well, I'm based in Texas, North Texas specifically, and we didn't have power for like 2 days. And I was stuck in the house for like a week with my family, and that was not conducive to filming because I share a room and the walls are thin and 6 people under one roof is loud. So there was that, but for all intents and purposes we're fine. It was just it was too loud to film with all the background noise. And then I ended up, and then to add insult to injury, 2 whole weekends were taken up by, well, it wasn't so bad, but 2 whole weekends were taken up by me working on a ballet with a friend of mine. And while it sounds like I'm complaining, I'm not. This was the first time that I got to dress a show in over a year. I think the last show that I dressed was 2019 Christmas. So it was really nice to get back. Even if it was a show that I was not familiar with, in a performance style that I was not familiar with. It was so exciting, and it was so good to be back. And it made me miss theater even more, which is a problem because I'm not in theater right now, because there's no shows going on. I'm working at a school, so this is my creative outlet for the time being. But it was really nice to be back, and it sounds like I might have some more jobs in a similar situation. But until then, I will be working away at these videos. I'm hoping to do some like tutorial-like videos. I've done some for TikTok in a very, very short form. But I'm flip-flopping back and forth on whether I want to do them or not. There are already a lot of video tutorials on hand sewing on YouTube, so it's one of those, what could I bring to the table when it comes to showing you something that is already been shown before. I don't know if that's could be theater specific alterations or techniques, or if that could be really weird niche historical stuff. But yeah, that's just something to toss around in the mind skillet for a little bit. But if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I'm just gonna wrap this up, I guess. If you want to continue to see the rest of my series and all the additional projects that I've gotten up, which I'm staring at now, and I'm so excited to show because I'm very excited about this project, be sure to subscribe. And I think you can ring. Does the bell actually do anything? I never actually end up ringing the people's little bell icon. I mean, you can do that if you want. But does it work half the time? I don't know. Does anybody actually do that? I'm not sure, but you could do that. If you want to, you could even like the video. It really helps with algorithm stuff. But yeah, leave a comment on anything you'd like to see, or if you have any questions, and I guess I'll just see you in the next one. Hopefully sooner than a month. 2 months, actually.